Hello, my beautiful patrons. Today is Tuesday, best day of the week. And today's word of the day is rubric. Rubric. Now, it's a great word with a lot of history, and it sort of connects us to lots of other words. So, rubric is either a rule, especially a religious rule, or also an explanation for something. And the word rubric comes from the Latin word for read. Okay, because basically, in the past, if you had a book, okay, so imagine you've got a book here. Now, of course, like most people, God, so well organized today. So, so imagine you've got your book here with all of your black text, okay, because most text in books is printed in black. You've got your text with black book. And what you do when you want to explain something or you want to write a rule, you use read. And in Latin, the word for read is ruber. So imagine I have some black text I write here. Do not. I say no. I say no. No. So this ruber, this read writing, becomes a rule or an explanation. And that's what a rubric is. So you find rubrics in textbooks. You find rubrics in in textbooks, in like grammar books. Now, this leads us to another phrase in English. And first we have to look at this calendar, okay? So, if you look at, where is it? Okay, so look at this calendar. Now you see that the Sundays and the Saturdays are in red. And also the public holidays, okay, the public holidays are in red as well. Now, in the past, important days, like public holidays, like religious holidays, they were marked on the calendar in red. So a day marked in a red letter is an important day, an exciting day, a happy day, because it was something important marked on the calendar. And so now in English, if you have like a really exciting day, an important day, you can say, today is a red letter day. It's quite a common thing to say. And in fact, there's a company in England that sells red letter days. They sell experiences called red letter days. So, you know, and today is Tuesday, so of course it's a red letter day today. A day to go and practice your English and communicate with somebody. So, now, where is this leading? Well, so we have this idea of a rubric, an explanation or a rule, and then a happy day. And then we have all of this idea that we look at the world, through our language. The way we perceive the world comes from our language. And now this is in some ways this is controversial. The idea that the language you speak changes the way that you view the world. And really there's no evidence that that's true, really. But I discovered very recently that there is a book called Imprisoned in English, written by a Polish researcher, Imprisoned in English. And she says that because of the global spread of English, because English is such a common language throughout all of the world now, that the concepts and the way of thinking in English, that way of thinking is also spreading throughout the world. And, you know, in her opinion, that way of thinking can imprison you mentally, right? Because you think in an English way. Now, I haven't read the book. I'm going to order it because I think it could be quite fascinating. So I can't comment on that yet, but it's definitely an interesting idea. But what I did discover is that she, the author of this book, along with some other linguists, they proposed something called NSM primes. And basically, NSM primes are basic concepts, like the most basic concepts that all languages in the world have. It's like the basic ways of thinking about the world that exist in all languages. And there's 65 of these NSM primes. So essentially, she has suggested that there are 65 common ways of looking at the world that exist in all of humanity. And I have the document here, and this is what it looks like. Okay, it's quite a big table. It's a big table with all of the 65 things listed, and it's quite interesting to look at. Actually, quite interesting to look at. So, for example, some of the common concepts are I and me, you, someone, apart, this, that, now, a long time, a short time, live and die, move and touch, if and maybe. And the reason that I'm really interested in this is not because I think that, you know, it's not because I think that that this holds any special magical way of looking at the world, but I think it's really interesting because these 65 concepts could be the basis of like the basis of an English course where you teach someone from zero and you bring them up to intermediate. It's like, instead of focusing on grammar or vocabulary or maybe even can-do statements, imagine focusing on these 65 abstract concepts as a way to learn a language. I don't know, it could be a thing. Could be a thing, could be a way to, I don't know, to create like a learning structure. But I don't know, because I need more time to think about it. And I'm quite busy at the moment. So anyway, I got to get back to work. So much to do, but I hope you have a great day. Big love to you all, and I'll see you tomorrow.